Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Viridius coming at you with another Hytale discussion. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of comments on Hytale community forums and subreddits expressing concerns about the overwhelming amount of hype this game is receiving. Some of these users are expressing concerns that we may be building up the game beyond what it is capable of delivering, thereby setting ourselves up for disappointment when it finally launches. But other users have gone as far as to suggest that those engaged in speculation should wait for the game to come out before sharing their opinions on any elements of it that the developers have not fully explained yet. With this in mind, I'd like to explore the question, what effect will this speculation have on Hytale? First, I'd like to talk about the potential benefits of our speculation. Why do we spend so much time discussing amongst ourselves what we think might be in the game when we're simply not going to know until it's released? The easiest answer to this is that a lot of people have a lot of fun swapping theories about what the details of upcoming media we are excited for might look like. But are there more practical benefits? I would say there are. As we share our thoughts and expectations of how this game may turn out, we're giving the developers a way of gauging exactly how their community is thinking about the game. This in turn may help the developers decide what to share with us next, either to correct concerning misconceptions we may have, or to help us spot features we may have missed that they intended for us to find. So by speculating, we may be giving the development and marketing teams more tools to work with as they move closer to release. This is a very tangible benefit, but the concern here is that speculation may also lead to overhype, which has the potential to kill a good game. We can all point to games like No Man's Sky, Spore, Fable, or Aliens Colonial Marines where expectations were set extremely high prior to launch, and when the games failed to meet those expectations, the community backlash was severe. Many people might say that a lot of these games were actually very fun, or had a good foundation that could be built on, and the only reason they got the hate they got was because our expectations were set higher than the developers could possibly have met. But what all of these games have in common is that our expectations were set not by the community, but by the promises the developers made. So when these games did not meet those promises, there was a sense of betrayal that we all felt. The people who designed these games told us what we would find in them, and when those features were removed, they allowed us to buy them anyway, without informing us that we weren't getting what we had been promised. And gamers were angry. Contrast these games with another game that received immeasurable amounts of hype, Skyrim. Prior to release, Skyrim was talked about like it would redefine RPGs and perhaps gaming in general forever. The hype for Skyrim was so high that at the college I went to, attendance dropped 30% on the day that it was released. Did Skyrim end up redefining RPGs forever? No. But it did give us a compelling experience that contained all of the meaningful elements the developers told us it would have. We forgave it for not living up to the hype because we had created that hype, so we didn't feel betrayed by the creators of the game. Now some people might argue that in some of the games that were killed by hype, the developers were mostly honest with us as well, and it was gamers misinterpreting them that caused us to feel like we had been betrayed by the developers. And that may be the case, but the best remedy for that is for the developers to keep an eye on what the community is saying and correct any serious misconceptions as they appear. They can't do that if we don't discuss what we're thinking about the game. Now, it is possible for speculation amongst the community to create widespread misconceptions that didn't previously exist. But without that speculation, any misconceptions that did will go unnoticed until the game has already released and it's too late to correct. And this brings me back to the unique position that Hytale is in right now. Hytale's similarities to Minecraft make it natural for us to want to fill in any gaps in the information we have with things we know about Minecraft. And because so many of us see Hytale as the superior game, we tend to think of the best version of whatever it is Minecraft does. That tells me that there are likely dozens of little misconceptions that we're excited for that we most likely have about this game, and the best way to combat those is through sharing our own speculative theories. Through discussing how mobs might spawn, we might realize that light level spawning might not be a thing in this game. Through imagining how magic might affect the world, we might come to realize that redstone-like machines really haven't been shown in any of the promotional materials. Will there be people who acquire more misconceptions from the speculation than they lose? Probably. Will there be people who get so hyped up for this game that it can never possibly meet their expectations? Of course there will. There are for nearly every game, but I think especially in the case of Hytale, the speculation we are engaging in will do more good than harm. Well, that's my take on it. I'd love to hear from you. Do you think that the hype surrounding this game is dangerous, or are you riding that hype train all the way to release? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you want to see more Hytale news and discussions from me, click subscribe and that bell notification button so you'll be notified next time I upload. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. This is Veridius, and I'll see you next time.